Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give our takes on AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're here for the Forbidden Door Roundtable discussion for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view Sunday night. We got the originals of the Big Fight Field channel. We got Cameron Johnson. His camera is working. You can see him right there. Cam, what is up, dude? We got Wes, and then we'll get to Sammy in a little bit, coming into our Forbidden Door on the Big Fight Field channel. But Cam, what's up, man? We missed you on Wednesday.
Is going on, man? My God, I wish I would have been here Wednesday. Because Wednesday looked like a hell of a show. We had Okada coming out. We had Okada coming out. The debut of Hiroshi Tanahashi and Dynamite actually wrestling. So Wednesday looked like a hell of a show. Unfortunately, I could not go. Unfortunately, I could not be on there, dude, man. Avril Lavigne was live in concert, man. I love me some Avril Lavigne. I don't know when I'm gonna get to see her in concert again. So I had to go see Avril Lavigne, and as soon as her set was over, I left because I was not staying for the final act. So I was not staying for the final act. So as soon as Avril Lavigne got off that stage, I left. But other than that, uh, but yeah, man. But other than that, I wish I could have been here for Dynamite Wednesday because that was like a hell of a show.
Yeah, I mean, you're here now, so I'm just thankful for that. Wes, long time no see, a couple days, but you doing all right tonight, man?
Doing well, man. We are just 2 nights away from Forbidden Door Sunday night at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. I'm very, very excited, man. I enjoyed tonight's episode of Rampage as well. I thought it was a good way to get us ready even more so for Sunday. And man, we got a lot of stuff to look forward to, man. It's gonna be a good night of pro wrestling, that's for sure.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, you realize we have a special guest tonight. When I first was in the IWC, Sammy was one of the first few people that I met, and throughout the years that we became friends on in the wrestling community, talking wrestling, I can honestly say with a straight face that Sammy is one of the smartest and most passionate and most knowledgeable wrestling fans when it comes to AEW and when it comes to New Japan. So to have him on the channel for this show, the Forbidden Door pay per view, man, I'm extremely happy. I know this was last minute, but I'm really happy we could get you on tonight. Sammy, what's up, dude? How are you doing?
What's going on? Got Forbidden Door on Sunday night. I'm very excited to join the pod tonight and discuss what's going to go down. Like, obviously, going to breeze through the card and talk about what might happen and, just the basic stuff. I mean, I did a pod last night and it went successfully. So I'm very excited to join and talk some Forbidden Door.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad that. What show was it? I'll definitely go.
Oh, it was my own podcast. I had my own guests that came on last night, and the episode's up right now for those who are interested in checking it out. So, yeah, it's up on Spotify and all platforms.
Awesome. I will definitely be checking it out this some point during before the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. But ladies and gentlemen, we got after Rampage tonight, which I thought was a good show, we got a tremendous match. I just want to get it out there real quick. A tremendous match between Andrade El Idolo and Rey Fenix, and we got the La Facion Ingobernable in AEW. Roosh showed up and it was awesome. I absolutely loved everything about that match tonight. Um, but before we get into the Forbidden Door pay per view, I just want to address a couple things real quick, man. People, when it comes to Forbidden Door, are saying like when me and Wes talked about on Wednesday night. The card's underwhelming. The card's not the way we wanted it to be. People were expecting, Kenny Omega to be on the show. Obviously, CM Punk was supposed to be in the main event. With all these injuries, and we got another one yesterday with Tomohiro Ishii. With all these injuries, I still think we're looking at a great lineup for Forbidden Door. And people also getting the concept wrong on this show. The concept is there's some people in the community who think the concept is, oh, who's the better brand in all of this? Is it AEW or is it New Japan Pro Wrestling? It's not. It's not about that. You got two of the best pro wrestling companies coming together for a super show, literally a fantasy booking show between Tony Khan and Gato, um, to see what the best possible card they could put on for this Forbidden Door show is. That's what it is. And it's not for the casual fan. This show is not for the casual wrestling fan. This show is for the hardcore AEW fans, the hardcore wrestling fans who have been wanting to see this for years and have been fantasy booking matches for years between AEW and New Japan guys, and that's exactly what we're getting. That's the concept. Is these two companies come together and fantasy booking a great show. Do you guys disagree with me, or do you have anything to add on to this? I'll let any of y'all take the floor if you want to say anything.
I'll go ahead and I think we're still going to be in for a treat regardless of the injuries. It really sucks that we don't have guys like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, and Tomohiro Ishii, on this show. But regardless, I mean, we still got a banger of a show in place right now, and hopefully it all goes well. I don't believe, and I hope and pray not, that we don't get any more injuries heading into Sunday. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, overall, I think the anticipation is very high right now for this show. And, Tony Khan has stated that he wants to make this an annual thing if all goes well. And so I really hope everything can, go according to plan. And if it does, then we might end up seeing this become a yearly thing, which would be amazing for both companies, not just AEW, but for New Japan as well. And would really branch out these wrestlers that, not so many people are as familiar with. It will get the names like Will Ospreay, he'll get more of a name out there into the States, and guys like Great Khan, Jeff Cobb, Kazuchika Okada. Even though Okada's known worldwide, Okada's name will become more known to the casual audience. So it's good for pro wrestling as a whole, and then hopefully everything goes okay this Sunday night. But I think overall we're heading into a really solid show.
Of course, well said. Do you guys, Sammy, do you guys have anything to add on to this before we get in the card?
I just want to say, I agree with you on. I just want to say I agree with you on that. I cannot believe, it's amazing to me how many people who don't like AEW all of a sudden care about the casual thing. All of a sudden care about the casual fan. That's funny to me. That's funny to me. This show is not, like you said, the show is not for the casual fan. The show's for the wrestling fan. If anything, this might draw. This might draw some casual New Japan fans in to watch full time, quite frankly. But like besides that, this is not for the casual fans. It's for the wrestling fan. If you want what the casual fan wants, watch Raw. If you want what the casual fan wants, watch Raw. Please don't watch Dynamite. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this show, man. The show looks incredible on paper, and it should be really good.
Yeah. Sammy, any words before we dive into the card?
Yeah, I definitely believe that this is going to be a show for the ages. Is if you look at the card and if you look at, the United Center itself, 15,000 people will be there and it is sold out. And that is going to be a sight to see. So, yeah, I do think that this is going to be a great show and we're in for a treat with a lot of the matches. And I'm just very excited to, dive into the card and, get to Sunday as quick as possible.
Yeah, I feel you right there, dude. I just wanted to be here already. Watch all the action go there. I will say this. When you have that saying as a wrestling fan, you wish you were in the attendance and you were a part of the show. As far as Sunday's pay-per-view goes, I wish I was in the attendance and a part of the show. Hopefully I'll get there one day at a Forbidden Doors show. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste any more time. We got 3 buy-in matches that we're going to talk about very quickly. And then we will get into the 9-match main card. It was announced tonight we got 2 new buy-in matches. One of them was the Factory's QT Marshall and Aaron Solo teaming up to face Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. I'm just gonna take Goto and Yoshihashi to win. The Factory really haven't been much of a factor on television, so I'm sorry to disrespect Cam about QT Marshall, but I'm going to take Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi for the win. Cam, you can actually go next, man.
Yeah, this is an easy one for this is an easy one for not QT Marshall. QT Marshall is not winning this. QT Marshall is not winning this match here. This is an easy win for New Japan here. This is an easy win for New Japan here. So yeah, that's what I got. Not QT Marshall. I forgot the guys' names there. Fine, I'm sorry. But not can you remind me of the names real quick, Joseph? I'm sorry.
QT and Aaron Solo against
Ah,
against
again.
Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi.
Oh, Goto and Yoshihashi are winning this match.
Yeah, I agree.
Goto,
Wes?
he couldn't beat Tanahashi. He couldn't beat Tanahashi at the Dominion, but he gonna beat QT Marshall. That's gonna be his redemption.
Wes?
I'm with you guys there. I'm also going Yoshihashi and Goto with the win over QT Marshall and Aaron Solo.
And Sammy.
Yeah, I'm definitely agree. I'm going with Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. This is one of the most predictable matches of the entire show. So yeah, I'm with y'all there.
Next, the other match that was announced tonight, which could see a nice mixture, is Swerve and Out Glory, Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee against El Desperado and Kanemaru. I don't remember what his first name is, but I'm going to go reverse. I'm going to give Sammy this one first, actually, for this match.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting match. So you obviously have the seeds planted here with like who's going to turn, Swerve or Keith Lee. So they have that story going on. So then they're going up against El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and basically this will be a pretty nice buy-in match. But if I had to predict the winner, I do think Strickland and Keith Lee will take this one, and that's because there's more potential to the story they're telling right now. So I do think they're going to rack up a bit more wins before one of them turns heel. So there's that.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Wes?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Swerve and Lee in this. I know there's been the tension between these two guys, but I think there'll probably be a bit more tension in this matchup here. But I do believe that Swerve and Lee will ultimately get the win, and then after all this is said and done, we'll get more and more storyline build up with these two guys. We do eventually see a breakup with Swerve and Lee. I mean, obviously both these guys are singles stars, so they should, they're not going to be a tag team forever, and they deserve to have singles pushes individually. So I think this might end up leading to maybe a Swerve heel turn, and we get Swerve and Lee somewhere down the line. But I think in this particular matchup, they're going to get the win here.
Cam?
This is I'm going with Keith Lee. I'm going with Lee and Swerve. I'm going with Lee and Swerve to get this win here. I'm going with Lee and Swerve to get this win. If they can't win this match here, if they can't win this, if they can't beat El Desperado, then if they can't beat El Desperado, then I think it's time to, that if I'm Keith Lee and Swerve, I think, quite frankly, I think it's time to go ahead and pack it up. I think it's time to go ahead and pack it up and call it a day as a tag team because they're not gonna go far. Because they're not gonna go very far. But Lee and Swerve is who I'm picking on.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cam. I'm taking Swerve and Out Glory, Keith Lee, and Swerve Strickland for the win, and I think they're going to continue to build tension in their rivalry as a tag team. And then the final buy-in match, we have one of my favorite factions in all of wrestling right now, the Acclaimed and the Gun Club. We got Max Caster teaming up with the Gun Club to face the New Japan LA Dojos, the DKC, Kevin Knight, Alex Coughlin, and Yuya Uemura. Cam, you could take this one first.
I really want the Gun Club and the Acclaim doing this match here. Just because look, I love Alex. I love Alex Coughlin in particular on this team. I don't, especially with a lot of these New Japan Strong guys. Like I know a lot. I know a lot of the big names that are on this show. I know Clark Connors. I know Ishii. I know Tanahashi. I know a lot of the big names. But like a lot of the New Japan Strong names, or like a lot of the undercard names, to be honest with you, I'm really not that familiar with. Alex Coughlin is a guy I'm familiar with. I saw him at DPW. I saw him at a DPW show last month, I think it was, or last month, I think it was. And his match with JD Drake was phenomenal. He was a stand-up. So he was a stand-up there. So I want the Acclaimed and the Gun Club to win here because I do think in particular the Acclaimed can be built up, can and should be built up for a tag team title match later on down the line this summer at the end of the year. In order for that to happen, they have to start racking up wins. And so, as much as I don't want the Gun Club to get the win here, I want them to win because Max Caster is in this match. So I'm going with Max. So I'm going with Max Caster. So I'm going with Max Caster in the Ass Boys.
Yeah, I am too. I am on the same side as you. I'm not really too familiar with these LA Dojo guys, so I am interested in this match to see how they do against the Gun Club and Max Caster. Saw the DKC wrestle Hook on Rampage, but it was like a 3-minute match, so we really didn't get to see much of him tonight and what he can do. But I'm hoping they give these guys enough time. But yeah, I'm gonna take Max Caster and the Gun Club. They're just way too over, and the AEW audience loves what these guys are doing right now. And they're one of the most over factions in AEW, if you ask me. Sammy, your turn.
Right. This is definitely going to be an interesting match, but I actually have the LA Dojo winning this match. So, well, I say that because, and I explained this on the podcast last night. I do think the people at home and the people in attendance are in for a treat with some of these LA Dojo people because for the people that watch New Japan Strong, you know how good some of these guys are, and they have a chance to show themselves in front of their biggest crowd yet, which is over 15,000. And for a lot of these New Japan people who are competing on this card, this will be their biggest crowd in years. So that's a bonus right there. But in particular for the younger guys, I do think this is their big opportunity to shine, and getting a win here over some AEW stars would mean it would be a big win for them because this class contains a lot of future stars, and they have like so much potential to be like, big stars in wrestling. So yeah, that's why I'm going with them.
And that's why I kind of like matches like this on the buy-in because there might be people like me who don't know who these guys really are, haven't seen these guys wrestle, and they're giving them a big spotlight um, right before the pay-per-view goes on the air. So I'm really looking forward to. I'm interested to see how these guys are fair, how they do in the ring with Max Caster and Gun Club, and then finally Wesley, and then we'll get into the main card.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say Max Caster and the Gun Club do win this match. I think this will be really good exposure for LA Dojo to show a bigger audience what they can do. But ultimately, I think Caster and the Gun Club will pick up the W here. I really enjoyed what they've been doing on television. I think they mesh well together as a great comedy act, and they're great comic relief for the show as well. And I think I've even seen them doing some stuff on Being the Elite, and like it's hilarious stuff, man. And I've even seen them do like advertisements for AEW on like social media. I mean, they know what they're doing. They know how to be entertaining. They know how to appeal to the audience, man. And so I think this is a really cool deal what they got going on here, and I kind of eventually see it down the line becoming a face turn for the Acclaim because they're really over. The crowd obviously loves them. They react whenever Max Caster is on the mic, and then they react whenever Anthony Bowens gets the ass boy chant started and everything, and it's a really good deal. But I'm gonna go Caster and the Gun Club here. So.
And that's the buy-in matches for the Forbidden Door. But before we get into the main card, if you have not already, be sure to go check out Wednesday's AEW Dynamite review I did with Wesley. We talked about Bryan Danielson's replacement, which we're going to get into in a little bit. The arrival of Kazuchika Okada. What a moment that was in AEW on Wednesday night, going after Jay White and Adam Cole. And be sure to go ahead and check out that review. I will be back right here Sunday night talking about the Forbidden Door pay-per-view after everything concludes for the pay-per-view. So I'll be back right here talking about the show, and it'll be up after the pay-per-view is over. We are past 20 minutes into the round table. Let's get into the main card. We got 9 matches. I'm so glad this is not the 12 match format like Double or Nothing was. I understand why at the end of the day they gave Double or Nothing the 12 match format, because they wanted to give Martha Hart as much time as possible, which I respect that. But at the same time, 12 matches is a lot for a pay-per-view. This show, we got 9 matches. I think it'll pace really nicely. And the match that I see opening up the show is a trios match between Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Murder Grandpa Minoru Suzuki against Wheeler Yuta, Eddie Kingston, and Shota Umino, aka John Moxley's protege, Shooter. I haven't seen him in a while. It's nice to see him, but I do think this could be a very fun opener. I think this would be a fun way to open up the show, and this result is going to play into Wednesday's match, because ultimately, I think whoever loses this match is going to go over at the Blood and Guts match on Wednesday. And Eddie Kingston has came out and stated, no offense to Tony Khan, no offense to the locker room, but I care more about Blood and Guts. You know, I want to taste Chris Jericho's blood, all that stuff. So I think Eddie Kingston's going to be too focused on taking out Chris Jericho and not this match. And I think that Jericho and Eddie Kingston are going to brawl. They're going to be brawling outside in the stands. They won't be in the finish. I think ultimately, Shota Umino is probably going to be taking a losing fall, and for that reason, I'm going to take Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki to win this trios match. Sammy, who do you got and why?
Well, I did cover this match on my podcast just last night, and my original pick was Team Eddie Kingston. But since then, they announced tonight that the winning team will have the advantage in Blood and Guts. Now that you mentioned it, the team that loses here will go over in Blood and Guts. So that's why I'm switching my pick to Team Jericho. And I did say last night that there are a lot of match possibilities that could come out of the match itself. Like we could get Minoru Suzuki versus Wheeler Yuta down the line, and I put out a tweet a couple days ago that this might be the starting point for Chris Jericho versus Minoru Suzuki. Whether that happens at a future AEW show, could happen in the Tokyo Dome, you never know. And Jericho has stated a couple times that he wants to work with Minoru Suzuki, and perhaps this would be the start to the eventual match. But at the end of the day, I do have Team Jericho winning this match.
I would actually, out of all the matches Jericho's had in New Japan, I don't think he's faced Suzuki yet, right?
Never.
No, that would be pretty interesting. And another match that I would really like this out of these 6 guys, a singles match that I'd like to see is Sammy Guevara against Wheeler Yuta. I think those guys would put on an awesome match if given the amount of time. So you are taking Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki. Wes, what do you got?
Both of you guys. I'm going with Jericho, Sammy, and Suzuki in this matchup. I think it will be a fun trios match for sure. But I think ultimately Jericho and his squad are going to get the win here and get themselves the advantage for Blood and Guts on the following Wednesday episode of Dynamite. And I do believe that it will ultimately lead to Kingston and crew winning Blood and Guts match when we do get to that on Wednesday. So I'm going with the heels in this matchup.
Cam.
I'm going with the heel. I'm going with the heels in this matchup also here. I think this should build up to Wednesday, Blood and Guts here. I don't see any reason to give Eddie Kingston a win here, quite frankly. When I think he's winning, when I think he's winning on Wednesday, when I think he's winning on Wednesday, I don't really see any reason to give Eddie Kingston a win here before he wins on Wednesday. So puts more heat on the heels before going into their Blood and Guts match on Wednesday. Before going into their Blood and Guts match on Wednesday, and it's not going to hurt Eddie Kingston because Eddie Kingston is going to win on Wednesday. So my pick for this match here is so I'm going with the Heels. Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and a Murder Grandpa. Or Suzuki.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep on that board with that trios match, but it all seems like we think Eddie Kingston is going to win Blood and Guts on Wednesday. We got one of two fatal four-way matches on the evening. This one is for the AEW All Atlantic Championship. This will be crowning the first inaugural AEW All Atlantic Champion. We got Malachi Black, Pac, Miro, and representing New Japan, we got Clark Connors. This was supposed to be Tomohiro Ishii. Of course, he went down with an injury, so he got replaced by the man he beat to get in this match, Clark Connors. Have not seen Clark Connors wrestle in a very long time, since I believe 2019 when he was a young lion. So, to see him in the ring with guys like Malachi Black and Pac, you got Miro in there as well. I think it'll be very nice. So, but ultimately, he's definitely going to be taking the losing fall in this match. That's for sure. That is for sure. Cam, I'm going to give you this one, man, for the first one. And I think you can make a case for any three of those guys, Malachi Black, Pac, or Miro. If you ask me, this is a toss-up. I'm going to give it to you first, Cam.
I think you can make a very legitimate case for any one of these guys. I know Sammy just stopped listening from. I know Sammy just stopped listening to his podcast. Wants Pac to win. I know he wants Pac to win this one here, and I know Joseph and Wesley have been on the Miro bandwagon here. But I was on the Pac bandwagon. I was on the Pac bandwagon for a while, but I got to ship. I got to hop off this band. I got to hop off the Pac bandwagon. I got to hop off the Miro bandwagon. I got to hop on the Malachi Black band. I got to hop on the Malachi Black bandwagon. I think it is time that Malachi Black and AEW get some gold. I do. I think it's time House of Black. I think it's time House of Black gets some championship gold in that stable, quite frankly. And I know we have the trios title coming, but I don't know how long. But I don't know how long the trio. But I don't know how long the trio titles are going to take. I don't know how long it's going to take for the trios titles to get there. And I think the House of Black would really, really benefit from getting some gold in that stable. So I'm going with Malachi Black. I think Malachi Black is the. I'm going with Malachi Black. I think Malachi Black is the other person who should have won. Him holding that championship with the House of Black would just look completely and utterly badass. I think it would look great, quite frankly. And so I'm going with Malachi Black. So I'm going with Malachi Black to win this match here. I think Malachi Black wins. No respect to Clark Connors, but he's taking the fall. Clark Connors is losing this match here. But I think Malachi Black for that championship would would be the correct decision in my opinion. So I'm going with Black.
That's very interesting. Wes?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very interesting matchup because you can make a case for any of the three of the four guys in this matchup. Obviously, we know Clark Connors is eating the fall at the end of this. I think he'll have a really good showcase in this match, but we ultimately know he ain't winning the title. It's an AEW title. They're not gonna have a New Japan guy come on in and become the first champion of a new AEW belt. But you can make a case for Pac. You can make a case for Miro. Make a case for Malachi Black. It's a very interesting matchup, and boys, I don't think we'll disagree with by the end of this. I think we're gonna be happy with whoever wins. I don't think win anybody winning here, but whether it was with Pac, Miro, or Malachi Black. And I've been on the bit of the Miro bandwagon too. Me and Joseph, but honestly, man, I think at the end of all this, I'm gonna have to end up going with my boy, the bastard himself, Pac, to win and become the inaugural AEW All Atlantic Champion. I mean, when you look at Pac, I mean, he's been with AEW since the very, very beginning, man. He has done so much amazing work for AEW ever since its inception. He's put on banger after banger after banger. Pac is literally one of the best high-flying wrestlers in the entire world. And I mean, I think at the end of it all, Pac deserves a title. Miro, you obviously make a case for Miro and stuff. I mean, Miro just got back from injury. He's now on a monster run again. Of course, everybody loves Miro, and he's doing some of the best work he's ever done in his professional wrestling career. But with Pac, I just look at the longevity of Pac with AEW and how hard he's worked to get to this point. And I think now is a great time to pull the trigger on Pac holding some gold in AEW. And I'm picking it right here this Sunday night at Forbidden Door. I believe Pac will become the inaugural AEW All-Atlantic Champion.
Okay. Sammy?
Yeah, I've been saying it for a long time. It's time that Pac gets some gold in AEW. So yeah, I am going with Pac for this match because I want to see him with championships so badly because it's been so long since we've seen him with one. And when you think about it, the guy's been with AEW since the beginning, like Wesley said, and he's one of the most consistent workers in the entire world. And this guy is he's pretty reliable too. And when you need him to have a great match, he can go out there and have a great match. But the most interesting thing about this match is the fact that we have an All Atlantic title. And the thing is, this will be AEW's version of the European Championship, and I can definitely see this championship being defended all around the world. Pac could take it to Rev Pro over in England. He could even take it to New Japan. It's a touring title, in my opinion. Sorry, touring title. So that's basically what this championship is for. So if you have Pac with that championship, he would be able to go all around the world and produce banger after banger and make it one of the most must-see championships immediately, in professional wrestling.
Oh man, you guys have me torn here. I mean, you legit could make a good, solid case for any of those three guys. Cam, were you on the Miro train?
I'm on the Malachi Black train.
Wesley,
I was on it, but I had to jump off. I'm on that Malachi Black train now.
Wesley jumped off. I guess Sammy was probably on the Pac train that entire time. Yes, he solidified Pac should win this match. I gotta stick with Miro. I think this title was made for Miro. He's literally so over. People love him so much. I understand that out of all three of these guys, he's probably the guy who needs it the least. He could probably be fine without the title. But this championship was made for Miro. This is the All Atlantic Championship. This is a title that represents all the nations in the world. And I don't see Malachi Black. I haven't heard Malachi Black once mention the Netherlands. I've never heard in a long time Pac mention England. Miro's like the Bulgarian brute, Bulgaria. He's got it on his flag for his theme songs. He comes out to those colors, and I think that Miro is going to have a dominant run with the All Atlantic Championship, just like he did with the TNT Championship when he first held it. And apparently, he said in his promo that in the promo on Wednesday backstage, he was like, "Is this God's gift to me? Is this All Atlantic Championship God's gift to me?" And I think that's what he's getting. God is giving him the AEW All Atlantic Championship, and it fits him like a glove. It's going to fit Miro like a glove. As much as Pac could use it, as much as Malachi Black could use it, I think this title fits wonderfully on Miro. And for that reason, I'm going to take Miro to win this match. But the last thing I will say is it's a damn shame that Tomohiro Ishii is not in this match, because if he was in this match, this would be a top 5 match I'm looking forward to the most on the entire night. But Clark Connor should put in a solid. He'll give a good performance. But if Ishii was in this match, this would easily be top 5 match, maybe top 3 that I'm looking forward to the most. So,
I agree there. Clark Connors ain't no slouch. Clark Connors ain't no slouch, but he ain't Tomohiro Ishii.
Exactly.
He ain't no Tomohiro Ishii. So I'm very sad Ishii is not in this picture.
Let's get to another championship match here. We got the AEW Women's World Championship. We got Toni Storm challenging Thunder Rosa. And I'm going to give this one to Wes first. The Wes, floor is yours for this match.
Yeah, this looks to be the only non-AEW versus New Japan matchup on the card. But I like that we're able to get a women's match on the card, though, regardless. So, and I think this will be a very, very good match here. I mean, obviously, we all know how great Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm are in their own right. But do I see a title change happening here? No, I do not. I'm going with Thunder Rosa to retain over Toni Storm. I think it will be a banger of a match. But I do see Thunder Rosa retaining. Hopefully, this match will be the catalyst for a better reign for Thunder Rosa. Because Joseph, me and you talked about it a little bit on the Wednesday review of Dynamite. That AEW just hasn't done Thunder Rosa's reign very, very good. They haven't done it right up to this point. They started it off, having her feud with Nyla Rose, which, as we've seen with previous AEW Women's World Champions, they always have to throw Nyla Rose in there to be the first feud, and it's just very formulaic and just, and it's just, you got to be a bit more creative than that to get to kickstart a reign for a championship. And then after that, we got Serena Deeb, and the match itself at Double or Nothing was great, no doubt about it. I thought they put on a banger of a match. It kind of seemed like after the fact, though, they kind of just quickly moved on, and they didn't really highlight it so much, like after they were highlighting so much of what happened at Double or Nothing. So I just feel like up to this point, Thunder Rosa just hasn't had a good reign as Women's World Champion, and I'm hoping that, with this match against Toni Storm on Sunday, this will help elevate the title just a little bit, and we start to see, more important, storylines coming out for the Women's World title. Because, I mean, it really feels like when you watch the show that if you didn't already notice, it kind of feels like Britt Baker is still the champion, even though she isn't, because Britt Baker's been showcased more than Thunder Rosa has. And it's there's nothing wrong with, of course, showcasing Britt Baker because she's one of your top women in AEW, but at the same time, Thunder Rosa is your world champion for the women, and so you need to continue to elevate her and put her in the spotlight instead of her just coming out unannounced with these one-on-one interviews with Tony Schiavone on stage. It's just you got to do better than that. So I'm hoping that with this match it will do better for Thunder Rosa overall as a whole. But I think these women will kill it. But I'm going with Thunder Rosa to retain.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I think they'll have a really good match. I just hope this gets the right card placement, because if it's right after a match that people are exhausted from, it's not going to do great. I think they'll put on a really good match. Just the right placement in the card for this match is going to be huge. I think they're going to have a really good match. Thunder Rosa absolutely needs to retain for just her title's sake, for her reign as women's champion. I think on any other card that these two women are in, with how great they are, I think this could be a match of the night candidate, with these two going at it one-on-one for the women's championship. But with the amount of talent that's on this show and the amount of matches that so many people are talking about, I just don't think it's possible for these two women to go have the match of the night. I think they're going to have a really good match, and I'm going to enjoy it. I think it'll be a really good match, but Thunder Rosa's got to retain. She's absolutely got to retain that title. Sammy, who do you got in Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa?
You know what? I'm honestly torn on this match because I think Rosa should be used more as the champion, and I think there's more potential to be tapped there. But I actually wouldn't be upset if Toni Storm won this match, all because of how over she is right now and how great she is as a wrestler. And another thing you can make the case for, if Rosa retains, she'll be able to defend the AEW World Championship internationally, because she has matches coming up in Japan and Mexico. And if you were to have the AEW Women's Championship defended in those countries, that would mean something huge for the championship itself. So that would be the case if you have Rosa retain. But like I said, I wouldn't be upset if Toni Storm won it, because obviously we love Toni Storm and we know how great she is. But if I want to make a prediction, I'm going to actually go with Rosa retaining here, all because of what they have lined up for her, in the different promotions. And like, you know, she did say one of her goals was to defend the championship internationally, and I think that she's going to do just that. So Rosa will retain here.
Mr. Johnson.
I'm with you guys. I think Thunder Rosa retains here. I think Thunder Rosa retains. I don't think this is the first match between these two ladies. I think they will. I think this feud is going to continue, and they're going to have many more matches, as they should, of course. As they should, of course. As they should, of course. Very course. So I am looking forward to this match. I think this match is going to be incredible here. I think this is going to be an incredible match here with Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm. And I'm going with Thunder Rosa to get the win here over Tony Storm. Thunder Rosa retains.
Awesome. This might shock a lot of people, but that next match is the match I'm looking forward to the most. I think this is going to be fantastic. And this is the triple threat winner take all for the Ring of Honor and IWGP Tag Team Championships. We got FTR, United Empire, Jeff Cobb, and the Great Okan against Roppongi Vice. I got a lot. As much as I would like to get in on this match first, I'm going to give it to Cameron Johnson.
Oh man, I am very much looking forward to this tag team match here. We've seen a lot of AEW tag. We've been seeing a lot of AEW tag team championship triple threat matches recently. We've been seeing a lot of them, but I don't mind it. We've seen a lot of them, but I don't mind it because I don't mind it because they have because every one of them so far has been excellent. Every one of them so far have been excellent. So I have no doubt in my mind. So I have no doubt that this will. So I have no doubt that this will be no different here. And in terms of who wins here, I think since this is a winner take all match, man. So this is a winner take all match. I think FTR is doing that. Like Kenny Omega had last year, but they're doing it with the tag team titles. They got the AAA tag team titles. They got the Ring of Honor tag team titles. I think they end up with the IWGP tag team titles. I'm going with FTR. I'm going with FTR to win. I'm going with FTR to win this match here. I'm going with FTR. I'm going with FTR to win this match here, and I think that All Out. We see FTR take the AEW tag team titles. The FTR, mark my words, they're going to have every set of tag team championships in the world of professional wrestling right now, man. It is going to be crazy. They're going to go to Impact. They're going to take them titles. They're going to go to MLW, take them titles. They're going to go to the NWA, take them titles. Hey, man, they might come back to WWE and take them tag team titles.
Oh, no.
They might go back to WWE and take them tag team titles, man.
We're good.
This has been absolute. But yeah, I'm going with FTR to win here, as I think they should. I got FTR winning this match.
Cam, we don't need to see them back in WWE, dude. No.
No.
Wait,
no, thank you.
The hell would they do besides, like, facing the Street Profits every week?
Exactly. Sam, I'm actually going to give you the floor next on this match.
Right. So you have every damn tag belt there is in wrestling. So they should go to Impact and take it from the Good Brothers, and go to the NWA and take it from La Rebellion, and it's FTR though. They could hold every damn championship and nobody would mind it because they're so over right now, and they've been over for months, and they're having one hell of a 2022, and that's why I'm going with them taking the IWGP tag team titles here. And that's all because of how hot they are right now. They're the hottest tag team in the world, and everybody loves them, and we could definitely see some great matches with FTR as the IWGP Tag Team Champions, because imagine them defending those belts in the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom. Like, could even put them against the Gorillas of Destiny and Dangerous Tekkers, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi. Like, there's a lot of potential there. So, I'm going with FTR here.
Wes.
Yeah, I have to agree with both Cam, Sammy here. I'm also going with the boys, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, FTR, to win both the ROH and the IWGP tag team titles. And honestly, yeah, you could make you can make a solid claim for them to go after the NWA tag titles and the Impact tag titles as well. Who's to say they won't end up doing that? I mean, FTR is taking over the tag team wrestling world right now, man. I mean, they are on top of the world. They are, really staking their claim right now to be the best tag team in the entire world, man. With all the gold that they're holding, man, they already got the ROH and the AAA tag team titles, and now here they are in an opportunity to get the IWGP tag team titles as well. And I do believe FTR at the end of this match will become both the Ring of Honor and IWGP tag team titles and have 3 sets of tag team titles underneath their grasp. And so but yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this match. I think this could very well end up being match of the night when everything's all said and done. I mean, you got a few matches in there that might end up being match of the night and being match of the year candidates and everything too. But yeah, these 3 teams are going to put on an absolute banger for sure, man. I mean, Roppongi Vice is very entertaining to watch. Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, Great O'Con, and Jeff Cobb are very, very decorated wrestlers of themselves. And of course, we already know how amazing FTR is and the bangers that they keep putting on over and over again. I mean, they haven't had a bad match yet, man. Every single match they're involved in, whether that be singles or tag team, they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. And this is going to be an amazing match when everything's all said and done. But I'm going as well with FTR to win both the ROH and IWGP tag team championships.
Yeah, as I said, this is the match I'm personally looking forward to the most on the show. What was I going to say? I don't think FTR is being set up to be the greatest tag team in the world. I think they're the greatest tag team of this generation, if you ask me. I mean, their run in 2022, it's just unbelievable television. I mean, sitting there watching them in such amazing tag team matches is incredible to watch. Dax Harwood in singles competition this year has been outstanding, and you can seriously make a case for him to be the wrestler of the year, if you ask me. But I think this combination in this match is going to be a really great treat to watch. FTR is one of, if not the best tag teams in the world. Roppongi Vice, Trent, and Rocky Romero is a great tag team. Jeff Cobb is freaking awesome. Great O'Con, haven't seen him much, but from what I heard, I guess he's all right. I'll see how he does in this match on Sunday, but I think he's gonna be just fine in there. I think these 3 teams are gonna absolutely tear the house down at the United Center, and I think the only acceptable outcome is FTR winning all of the gold. Now, Brian Alvarez was talking about a possibility of United Empire winning that ROH tag team titles and having them stay around, and FTR winning the IWGP tag titles in Japan. I just feel like you can't do that. Now is the time for FTR to be holding on to the IWGP tag team championships until Wrestle Kingdom, and they could face like Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi, and you can get a couple other great matches down to Guerrillas of Destiny in New Japan. But yeah, the only acceptable outcome of this match is FTR walking out with all the tag team titles, because I feel like people would be pissed if they don't win this match. So I'm taking them to win, and that's a clean sweep for FTR to win this 3-way match. A match that was announced Wednesday night. We got Zack Sabre Jr. against Bryan Danielson's mystery opponent. And whoever this mystery opponent is going to be the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. And if he beats Zack Sabre Jr., he is going to be in Blood and Guts going up against Jericho Appreciation Society. I'll go ahead on this one first, briefly. Me and Wes, we already talked about this on Wednesday night. It's got to be Claudio. He fits beautifully in the Blackpool Combat Club with Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. You got Yuta in there as well. Back when both of these guys were in WWE, why do you think Cesaro got that main event push against Roman Reigns? because Bryan Danielson went to bat for him when he was a part of creative. And he said Cesaro should get this opportunity. Cesaro should get the match against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. And then once Bryan left, Cesaro had his match. Cesaro did nothing after that, but I do think he will be the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. I think it's going to be a beautiful fit for him. He is a William Regal guy, and what a way to debut, man. You're going to be debuting on this show in front of 20,000 people against Zack Sabre Jr., who's one of, if not uh, debatable, the best technical wrestler in the world today. What a way to debut! What a way to make your AEW debut. But if it is Claudio, which it's probably going to be, he's going to win this match. You cannot beat him before he goes into blood and guts against the Jericho Appreciation Society. Sammy, who is going to face Zack Sabre Jr.?
It's definitely going to be Cesaro. So what a way for Cesaro to debut if it's him against Zack Sabre Jr. Now, me personally, I want to see Cesaro have a run outside of WWE, and I want to see what he's truly capable of. And that would mean sending Cesaro over to New Japan. And you could obviously have some Cesaro matches in AEW too, like Cesaro and Kenny Omega. You could even do Cesaro and Danielson again, and even run back that Chikara rivalry with Eddie Kingston and Cesaro. So, and you could definitely set that up in Blood and Guts too. So, yeah, Cesaro will debut and he'll defeat Zack Sabre Jr.
Wes?
I'm going to go with what you guys said as well. I'm going with Cesaro, a.k.a. Claudio Castagnoli, to make his AEW debut live at Forbidden Door this Sunday night in front of 15,000 strong in Chicago at the United Center to face Zack Sabre Jr. one-on-one. And what an incredible match that is going to be if that does end up happening. But I think all signs are pointing to Cesaro showing up and becoming the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. He just fits really well into that group. You know, I've seen the claims for Johnny Gargano as well, and that would make sense too. But Johnny Gargano, I feel like would be better just coming in as just a singles guy and not joining a faction like Blackpool Combat Club. No offense to Johnny Gargano. We obviously know how amazing of a wrestler he is, but I just feel like when it comes to his style and the way his character is, I feel like he just doesn't fit that mold very well with like the big tough brutes of the group like Danielson and Yuta and Moxley. I feel like Cesaro, knowing his style of wrestling and how hard he hits, and with the constant uppercuts and with the Cesaro swing and everything, man. I mean, I like he's more of a better fit for the Blackpool Combat Club. So I think Cesaro, Bryan's chosen opponent for Zack Sabre Jr., and it's going to be a hell of a match.
Cam, you were not here to talk about this on Wednesday, so you can talk about this.
Well, I actually made the joke on Twitter. Yeah, I actually made the joke on Twitter that everybody thinks it's Cesaro, man. Daniel Bryan was talking, Bryan Danielson was talking about his closest friends in wrestling, man. We're finally going to see it, man. We're finally going to see the debut of Kane in an AEW ring, man. In an AEW ring, man. I cannot book this shit any better, man. Kane comes out, and then Kane comes out, helps his team. It helps Danielson's team at Blood and Guts. Then we get hugs. Then we get Dr. Shelby back on AEW television, man. I'm telling you, man, that's the way to go. No, I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding, of course. I would not go that. I'm kidding, of course. Johnny Gargano and Claudio, I think, are the only two names here that make sense. I think are the only two names that make sense. Somebody pitched Timothy Thatcher, Timothy Thatcher. Joseph, man, you know how much I love Timothy Thatcher, man. Tim, you know how much I love him. Going back to my NXT reviews, man. But Timothy Thatcher, I think, just signed with Pro Wrestling Noah. So it's not going to be Timothy Thatcher here. So it's obviously going to be Cesaro. So it's obviously going to be Claudio, aka Cesaro, aka Cesaro. And he would fit the bill that he would fit the bill that Bryan Danielson talked about. He would fit the bill that Bryan Danielson talked about on that he talked about on Wednesday. Cesaro, Claudio, Claudio. He's obviously a great technical wrestler. We all know that, and he's built like a brick shit house. He can go in there, So he can go in there, and if he's standing across from you, you're like, you're like, oh shit, that guy can fuck some shit, that guy can fuck some shit up. So he fits that bill there as well. So I do think it is going to be Claudio. And in terms of ones there, I like Zack Sabre Jr., but it's got to be Claudio. Claudio is winning this match here. And this is going to be Claudio's winning this match here. This is going to be a hell of a match. I'm going with Claudio.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. He can't lose. If he's going into blood and guts, he cannot lose. 8-man tag. I mean, this should be a fun match, but this is literally slapping together a match so we can get these guys on the card. Should be a fun match, but I just personally don't care about this match. Young Bucks, Hikuleo, and El Phantasmo. They're going up against the dudes with attitudes. Darby Allin, Sting, Hiromu Takahashi, and Shingo Takagi. I think it'll be a fun match. I think it'll be very fast-paced, non-stop action. The Young Bucks just won the Tag Team Championships. They are in need of challengers. I think we will set up their first challengers in this match. I think with Red Dragon out, Tony Khan confirmed definitely that Kyle O'Reilly is injured. Another guy going down with injury in AEW. This will now transition into a small feud between the Young Bucks, Sting, and Darby Allin. So I think the dudes with attitudes will win this match, and Darby Allin is going to pin one of the Young Bucks, and this will set up a tag team title match, probably on Dynamite on a future show, with Sting and Darby Allin challenging the Young Bucks. I'm going with the dudes of attitudes to get the win. Cam?
I'm with you, man. I'm going with the dude. I'm going with you, man. I'm going with the dude's attitude too, man. Since we're going back, since we're going back to Sting's old tag team partner names, since we're going back to the 90s with this one, man, I need Sting when he comes out on Sunday. I need him to come out with that bleached blonde hair, man. He ain't got to come. He ain't got. I'm not. He ain't got to come out with the. He ain't got to come out with the shirt. He ain't got to come out with the haircut, man. But I need the bleached blonde Sting, man. Since we're getting these old Sting gimmick and tag team names, you got to go all the way with it. You got to go all the way with it. But I think Darby, Sting, but I think Darby, Sting, and Shingo pick up the win.
Sammy, who do you got in this match and why?
Yeah, I'm going with the dudes of attitude to win this match, and that's mainly because, well, yeah, I do agree with the point that Darby and Sting should challenge the Young Bucks first, since we have a bunch of injuries right now. But yeah, not really a whole lot to say about this match besides, dudes of attitude will win, and there's that.
Wes?
Yeah, kind of just a thrown together multi-man match. It should be pretty fun. But I'm gonna also go with dudes with attitudes to pick up the win, and I could definitely see one of the Young Bucks taking the fall to where it ends up leading to a tag title match on one of the upcoming episodes of Dynamite for the Young Bucks against Darby Allin and Sting, which would be a really, really solid match for sure. And so I kind of see that playing out afterwards. So I'm gonna also go with dudes with attitudes.
I think these three last matches are probably the three matches most of the community and wrestling fans are looking forward to the most. And the first one we're going to talk about is for the IWGP United States Championship. Orange Cassidy is going to challenge Will Ospreay, who is the United States Championship. Sammy, I'm going to give you this match first. What are your insights on it? Who you got walking out with the championship and why?
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting match in so many ways. And number one, we basically locked our way into this match because if you read recent reports, it was supposed to be Andrade challenging Will Ospreay for the championship. Unfortunately, due to the politics between CMLL and AAA, we weren't able to get that match. But instead, we're settled with Orange Cassidy. And we know how great Orange Cassidy is when he's serious because if you remember his previous matches with Chris Jericho from 2020 and the infamous Pac and Orange Cassidy match from Revolution 2020, like many people's introduction to Orange Cassidy, and that's when people realized how funny this guy can be and how great he is in the ring. And this will be no different with a guy like Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay is one of the best talents in the world, and we know what he's capable of. And Ospreay will obviously retain here, but it'll be a great showing from Orange Cassidy.
Wes?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I'm looking forward to a lot, pretty much the whole card here. But this match in particular, I think I'm just the most excited for. Man, I've been anticipating ever since it was announced. Will Ospreay, Orange Cassidy, man. I mean, I've talked about it on the podcast here. It's just, the anticipation and excitement I've been feeling for this match in particular has just been almost on another world. It's just, I'm really looking forward to seeing what these two guys can do and seeing a little bit of a glimpse of what these guys will be doing against each other in the ring from that call at the Open Dynamite this past Wednesday. I really feel like these two guys, how they meshed in that little bit of sequences we saw with them. I think it was absolutely amazing what they did there, and I think what they're going to do here is going to be even more special. And ultimately, I'm going with Ospreay to retain the IWGP United States title. I don't see Cassidy winning the title. But I think by the end of the night, these guys might end up putting together a match of the year candidate when everything's all said and done. Will Ospreay, we all know how amazing he is. He's one of the best wrestlers in the entire world, man. This dude puts on banger after banger after banger. I mean, just watching his stuff in New Japan as well and watching him at Wrestle Kingdom and everything. I mean, I remember his match with Hiromu Takahashi back at Wrestle Kingdom back in 2020, man. I mean, that was one of the best matches all year round I've ever seen. I still remember that sequence of them going back and forth in between the ropes. And it was just, that was one of the smoothest looking sequences I think I've ever seen. It was, I mean, and he's just such a gifted pro wrestler. And Orange Cassidy, when he's serious and when he gets going in the ring, man, Orange Cassidy, I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers as well, man. I mean, he puts on some absolute amazing matches, man, and we've seen it time and time again. I mean, the match he had with Pac at Revolution 2020 and the triple threat with him, Pac, and Kenny Omega at Double or Nothing back last year. I mean, Orange Cassidy's involved with some really great matches, and I think this will be no different here against Will Ospreay. But at the end of it, I'm going with Ospreay retaining the IWGP United States title.
Cam, who do you got and why?
I'm going with Will Ospreay to retain the U.S. title here. For a couple of reasons. The main one being that he just won the title. The main one being that he just won the title. So I don't see any reason to take the championship off him. But I cannot believe the amount of people that shit all over this match when this match got announced, man. I know we're not getting Will Ospreay and Andrade, and I think Will Ospreay and Andrade would have been the better match. I think Ospreay and Andrade, quite frankly, would have been a match of the year candidate if that match happened, but that match cannot happen. But like the amount of people I saw shitting on this match here was just amazing. It was just amazing to me, man. Like we all know the caliber of wrestler Will Ospreay is. Will Ospreay, in my opinion, is top five. Is easily top five in the world. Is easily top five in the world right now. Is easily top five in the world right now. Orange Cassidy is no slouch. Orange Cassidy is no slouch. We know Orange Cassidy can wrestle. We know Orange Cassidy can wrestle, especially when he gets serious. So this match with Ospreay is going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait for this, man. I cannot wait for this, man. I'm making a bold prediction now. I think this will probably be the match of the night. I think this will probably be the match of the night. If it's not match of the night, then I think it's top three easily with this in the four-way. So I'm very much looking forward to this match here. But Will Ospreay retains the IWGP. He retains the IWGP United States title. So Will Ospreay.
I'm with you, Cam. I cannot believe the amount of morons in this community that are shitting on Will Ospreay against Orange Cassidy. And, Orange Cassidy doesn't deserve to be in this spot. Will Ospreay deserves better. This match is going to suck. Clearly, those people don't watch New Japan because Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world. And when was the last time Will Ospreay ever had a bad match? I mean, seriously. And Orange Cassidy, you said it, when he's in a big-time match on pay-per-view against a guy like Will Ospreay, he's going to be serious. He's going to bring his A game. It's like when Orange Cassidy went out with injury at Revolution, people forgot how he wrestled. People forgot that Orange Cassidy could wrestle. And I think these guys are going to shut a lot of people up. They're going to make a lot of people eat their words after this match is over. Um, I do think that the United Center is going to go crazy for this match. Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, and I think he will prove that Sunday night in this match with Orange Cassidy, which is going to be fantastic. Orange Cassidy is probably going to come 2.5. The count will be 2.5, and Will Ospreay will kick out. Orange Cassidy is going to come very close to winning the U.S. title, but at the end, Will Ospreay is going to retain the championship. He just won it, and he's beating Orange Cassidy. But man, Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay are going to shut a lot of people up and make the community look stupid. Fatal 4-way for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Honestly, if you asked a person to book a Fatal 4-way match between AEW and New Japan, two from each side, I do think there's a possibility that that person could pick these exact four guys in this match. We got Jay White defending the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Hangman Page, Kazuchika Okada, and Adam Cole. This match is going to be a banger. This is going to be a match of the year candidate. If that triple threat tag team match is not the match I'm looking forward to the most, it is this match. This is second on my list. This is going to be unbelievable. I'm so goddamn excited to watch for the most notable, for the best professional wrestlers in the world. Jay White is awesome at what he does. Hangman Page is great. Okada, Cam said it in the Dynamite reviews. When Okada is healthy, he's one of, if not the best wrestler in the world. And in my opinion, Adam Cole is a top 5 wrestler in the world. And they are going to blow the roof off of the United Center with 20,000 people in that building. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. As far as the result goes, I'm going to take another route here. I'm not going to take the predictable route. A New Japan guy is going to win this match. That is for sure. Hangman Page is not winning, and Adam Cole's not winning. I'm going with Okada to regain the World Championship. He's going to get a loud pop when he hits the Rainmaker on Adam Cole, and the people in Chicago are going to go crazy when he regains the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. People have waited years to see Okada in an AEW environment. This is his first match at an AEW. It's a New Japan show as well, but an AEW show as well. I don't think Okada is going to lose his first match in an AEW environment. He's the face of New Japan, if you ask me. He's been the face. He is the top guy. And he is one of, if not, the best wrestler in the world. And I do think on Sunday night he will get his moment and regain the IWGP Heavyweight Championship from Jay White. And Jay White is going to blame Adam Cole. And maybe down the road, this will lead to a one-on-one match between Jay White and Adam Cole, which I would not mind seeing, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, Okada, I do think, will regain the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in a great moment in Chicago. Sammy, I want to hear your thoughts on this crazy Fatal 4-way match.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the most exciting matches we have on this card. And the names you have in this match are definitely it's definitely star-studded. But you know what? I'm actually going to go with Jay White retaining the championship here for different reasons. Number one, Okada will be doing the G1 later this year as always, but he will be taking a break after that due to his child being born, and we most likely won't see him until Wrestle Kingdom of next year. So in that case, I don't see him winning here, all because I can't see New Japan having their top champion out for quite some time. And Jay White's reign has only just begun, and I really don't want to see another transitional reign for him because if you remember in 2019, when he defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi for the championship, he dropped it to Kazuchika Okada just 2 months later, and I really don't want that for I don't want that to happen again. So that's why I'm going with Jay White to retain here.
Interesting. I didn't know that Okada was having a child, but I still do think he will win the championship. Cam, who do you got, man?
I'm with Sammy on this one. I'm with Sammy on this one. I'm going with Jay White on this match. First, I just want to say this match on paper sounds absolute. This match on paper sounds absolutely incredible. I know when you have a fatal four way, when you have a fatal four way match, when you have a fatal four way match, when you have a fatal four way match, some of it, some fatal four ways can be a complete. Some fatal four ways can be a complete cluster. Some fatal four ways can be a complete cluster. I think you have those fatal four ways that just nag every guy's and single one another. I think this is going to be one of these fatal four. I think this is a match of the year contender, quite frankly. I think it's a match of the year contender, quite frankly. I think this could easily be one of, if not the best fatal four way match that we have ever seen. I think this could easily be one of, if not the best fatal four way match we've seen in wrestling in a very long time. So I am very much looking forward to this match here. But I think Jay White retains the IW. I think Jay White retains to the IWGP title. For one, he just won the title. He just won the title like a couple weeks ago, and I think having a transitional championship reign with Jay White would would be very would be unfortunate, And to be honest with you, if you want to build, and to be honest with you, if you want to build, and to be honest with you, if you want to build to a Jay White Adam Cole match, you could always do a scenario where Jay White retains. You could always do a scenario where Jay White retains the championship, and then after where Jay White retains the championship, and this looks Adam Cole becoming a cinch. He turns on Jay White or something like that. But I think Jay White is retaining the IWGP Championship here. What should be a match of the year. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Wes, are you on my side on this one, or are you on the Jay White side?
Sorry, Joseph. I'm really, really sorry, but I gotta go with Sammy and Cam on this one. I'm gonna say Jay White retains the IWGP Heavyweight title. This is going to be an absolute barn burner of a match, no doubt about it, man. You got four of the top wrestlers in the entire world in Hangman Page, Adam Cole, Kazuchika Okada, and Jay White going in there to compete in a fatal four-way match for the most prestigious title in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I think by the end of this, too, we're all going to be claiming this to be a match of the year candidate. But at the end of it all, I'm going with Jay White to retain. He just won the title a couple weeks back at Dominion. I don't see him being a transitional champion here. So I'm going to go with Jay White to retain and still and to walk out of Chicago still the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
And our main event to crown the interim AEW World Champion, we got Hiroshi Tanahashi against Jon Moxley in our main event. Wes, who is going to walk out of this match as the champion?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a New Japan guy. I think the AEW World Title is going to go to an AEW guy, and that AEW guy is none other than Jon Moxley. I see this, too, as a consolation prize to Jon Moxley, considering that he was world champ through the pandemic, and he was able to carry AEW through their shows with no fans. And I think this, in a way, will be a consolation prize for Moxley, knowing that he's been one of the hardest workers for their company and is been one of the catalysts for the rise of AEW as well. And I think Moxley having a bit of a short reign as world champion in front of the fans, I think is a nice thank you to Jon Moxley for carrying AEW through the pandemic, through the time with no fans. And but I think Tanahashi and Moxley are going to put on a really, really solid match here. I'm looking forward to seeing what these two guys do. Moxley keeps having the claim of he's the true ace of professional wrestling, and he's going to prove that to Hiroshi Tanahashi this Sunday night in Chicago. And I think these two guys are going to put on a really, really solid contest here. But at the end of it, I see Moxley becoming the interim world champion. And when Punk does eventually come back, and we get Punk versus Moxley, man, sign me up for that feud, because Punk versus Moxley is a feud I really, really have been wanting to see since Punk first stepped in. I know Punk wants it as well. I mean, just the promos alone from CM Punk and Jon Moxley will be some that we'll remember, I think, for years to come. But yeah, I'm going with Jon Moxley to become the interim AEW World Champion.
Cam.
I like Hiroshi Tanahashi, and to be honest with you, if they announced the G1 card, I would not have all been opposed to putting the I would not have all been opposed to putting the AEW Championship on Hiroshi Tanahashi. I think Hiroshi Tanahashi's AEW champion would have been amazing. Just for a few months, just for a few months. Well, just for a few months just for a few months until Punk comes, just for a few months until Punk comes, just for a few months until Punk comes back. Excuse me. I think that could have been fun. But since Hiroshi Tanahashi is in the G1, I don't think it makes sense, quite frankly, to crown an interim champion and then have the interim champion miss multiple weeks of television, and then have the interim champion not around on television too. Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to be in the G1, so he's going to be gone away. So Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to be in the G1, so he's going to be gone away for a while. So this is an easy one for Jon Moxley, man. But I'm looking forward to this match. They have been teasing this match for a long. They have been teasing this match for a long, long time. And I have no doubt that if Punk could go, and if it was Punk and Tanahashi, I have no doubt Moxley and Tanahashi would have been at Wrestle Kingdom next year. Would have been at Wrestle Kingdom next year. But shit happens, plans change. So, but Hiroshi Tanahashi, I love him. The dude's amazing. He's not winning the AEW championship here. So, Jon Moxley's your interim AEW champion.
Yeah. Sammy.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Wesley and Cam. Like, Moxley's going to be taking home the championship, because I don't think it would make sense for Tanahashi to win the championship when he's going to be in the G1. Because, I mean, who the hell would want, like, the interim AEW World Champion, like, while Tanahashi's out? But no, I think Moxley's having one hell of a 2022, and for him to win the interim AEW title and carry the company while CM Punk's out with an injury would be an amazing accomplishment for him. And I'm pretty damn sure he will win Wrestler of the Year this year. And he is probably the Wrestler of the Year for me anyway, but AEW like world champion once again would be the cherry on top. So that's why I'm going with Moxley.
Yeah, I agree. Clean sweep. I'm taking Moxley to win the interim AEW World Championship. It would just be delusional booking for Tanahashi to win the interim AEW Championship when he's going to be in the G1 in a couple weeks. The whole point of an interim champion is that the guy who's holding the interim championship can be there full time. And if Tanahashi's the champion and he's doing the G1, he's not going to be there full time. Now would it be shocking if he won and became the interim AEW champion? Absolutely. You would have me shocked 100%. It's not happening. I do think they're going to put on a really good match. This is a long time in the coming. These guys have never faced each other. And Moxley's been wanting to face Tanahashi for years. And here we go, man. We're getting it Sunday night. I think it's going to be a really good match. Mox is going to win the championship, though. And honestly, if there's anyone on that roster you want holding that world championship when CM Punk is out with an injury, I think it's him. I think he deserves it. He held the championship in front of with no crowd during the pandemic, and I think you give him a reign while you're in traveling every week, and CM Punk's out with injury. I will say this. I do think we will see CM Punk on the show on Sunday. And I think we have to see CM Punk because Hey, the show's in Chicago. The show's in the United Center. CM Punk debuted there nearly 10 months ago. I think in some capacity, even if he's just standing on stage, walks out there in his crutches, holding up the AEW World Championship, while Moxley's holding up the interim championship, and that's the way the show goes off the air. I just think with he was supposed to be in the main event against Tanahashi. Clearly, that can't happen. I think that I think that I think that he's got to be there on Sunday in some capacity. Uh, Shows in Chicago. So I do think that CM Punk is going to be at that show on Sunday, and we will see him holding up the World Championship while Moxley's holding up the interim AEW World Championship to close out the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. The first one between AEW and New Japan. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all we got for you here on the Forbidden Door Roundtable. I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the preview video. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. I will be back here Sunday night to talk about the Forbidden Door pay-per-view and everything that happens. We also got some more wrestling content coming next week as well. So be sure you are subscribed. Comment down below. I want to know all your predictions for the pay-per-view on Sunday. Who is going to win? Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi. What match are you looking forward to the most on Sunday night? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from myself, Cameron Johnson, Wesley Williams, and Sammy Kaloff on the preview for Forbidden Door. You can follow me on Twitter. I will be live tweeting during the Forbidden Door pay-per-view Sunday night. So follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Conlon_Joseph. And if you're a sports fan as well, you can follow me on TikTok at Conlon_Joseph. Sammy, you can plug all your socials you want. Where can people follow you on social media, my friend?
Yeah, but as always, you can follow me on Twitter at Samster203, and that's basically all I have to plug.
All right, Wes.
You already know. Follow me over on Instagram at the Real Wesley Snipes. You can also follow me over on TikTok with the exact same username. That is at the Real Wesley Snipes. And Cam, send the crowd home happy.
Make sure you follow me on the Twitter sticks at Cam71101, man. I don't Cam71101, man. I don't know why you would choose to follow me, to be quite honest with you, but if it interests you, you can follow me there if you want to, But if it interests you, you can follow me there if you want to. You don't have to. You don't have to, but it would be appreciated. I mean, I would cry. I mean, I would cry if you didn't subscribe. I would cry if you didn't follow me on Twitter. So please don't make me cry. Please follow me on Twitter. Yeah, that pretty much does.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for joining us here on the Roundtable. Thank you all. I hope you all watching enjoyed the pay-per-view on Sunday night. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. Like Sammy said in the beginning, it's going to be a pay-per-view for the ages. So, hope you all enjoy it. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. We out. Peace.